Roger. 10-4, thank you, sir.
We're there as Border Patrol agents arrest a group of nearly 100 migrants along the U.S.-Mexican border in Lukeville.
¿Con quién viene el niño? ¿Usted?
Agents separating the migrants into groups. This one is men and their sons.
Una camiseta, okay?
Stripped of their belongings, shoestrings, and only allowed one shirt. The kids can keep a sweater. They're told it's cold at the station. One by one, the migrants load dozens of vans. I meet a man named Luis. He and his son came from Guatemala. For 2 weeks, they caught different rides to get here. He says he didn't know his chances of getting asylum were better had he crossed legally. But he thanks God they're already here. And now another journey begins as they make their way to processing.
And from that point, they'll head over to one of our immigration partners, whether it's in Tucson or Phoenix, I don't know, but ultimately every person has a different path through the immigration system.
But it's the path to this point that's a concern for border agents. A 4-foot fence made from recycled railroad, the only barrier for miles.
We're in a very vast, remote area that the border doesn't look like anything that people see in most places.
Right now, we're only about 50 yards away from the Mexican highway. This is where migrants are getting dropped off by car. This is a vehicle barrier. It's meant to stop cars, but not doing so well in stopping people.
They just pulled up to the highway and walked underneath.
Surveillance cameras capturing one of those drop-offs as migrants walk easily into the United States. Would you call this a crisis at our border?
Well, there's definitely a crisis where hundreds of people are crossing a border unimpeded.
Would having a border wall here prevent that?
Well, infrastructure helps, and infrastructure is a tool. We know that infrastructure is one of the things that can slow people down or keep people out in certain aspects. We know that it's not the end-all, be-all. We know that there's got to be agents to make an arrest and technology to monitor that infrastructure.
Word of this vulnerable area has reached Mexico. It's not only vendors filling the town square, but migrants plotting the trip north. Refugio was denied immigration and got deported in California. He says it was difficult to cross in Tijuana, so he's here and heading out the following day. ¿Cómo se están preparando hoy para salir mañana?
Se compra comida, agua.
I ask how he's preparing. He's buying food, water, clothes, and a sleeping bag. This time, he plans to cover his feet to cover his tracks. I ask what the plan is if he comes across Border Patrol. He knows if he's caught, he's getting locked up. So, he plans to run. In Lukeville, I'm Angelica Carrillo for KOLD News 13, live local, late breaking.